Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Monday, June 3rd, 2019. We start off with some breaking news in the professional wrestling world. Twitter user Oshkosh Big Josh wrote the following about his experience at last night's Ring of Honor show in Portland, Oregon. Oshkosh Big Josh tweeted on Twitter, "Okay, story time. I avoided saying anything until the show was over to avoid any further issue, but this honestly soured ROH for me in a big way. Honest to God story that can be backed up by about half a dozen people. The show starts, dark match is some local girls fighting, Allure interferes at the end, Velvet Sky and I exchange words along with the rest of the Allure. Nothing crazy. Mandy Leon spits on me from the side, not preferable, but I honestly don't care. The segment ends. Side note, I love and respect like 99% of all the wrestlers. I honest to God never try to make the show about me, get myself over, etc. My rule of thumb is to boo the bad guys and cheer the good guys. It's rare that I'll flip the script, but I always decide to go along with the show. Some opening match happens, wildly unimportant. Second match occurs and it's a local versus a local. Allure interferes at the end. I'm mouthing off to all the girls for no reason other than they're the bad guys. Boo, you're trash, get lost, no one wants you here, etc. At some point, Velvet Sky seemingly loses her cool and is challenging me to come in the ring. She tells me to suck it, calls me a wussy, though she didn't actually say wussy, I gotta keep it PG here. No prob, get your heat. She calls me a virgin. I remind her she has sex with a fat turd named Bully Ray. I call them the Tramp Stamp Trio in the segment. She goes to the back. Fast forward about 5 minutes and I get a tap on the shoulder. Hey, we're with security and we need to talk to you about an incident that occurred. Immediately I think of the Allure stuff but think that maybe Mandy got in trouble for spitting or facepalming me. Then I kind of think this is a joke and look around. No signs of a joke from my buddies or crew. I'm super perplexed and think there's maybe miscommunication because nothing so far was a big deal at all. I oblige and follow security. Security takes me legit backstage. I'm still perplexed by the entire thing and was honestly very hesitant to follow them because they kept saying we need to talk to you about an incident. No details behind, just leading me into the back. What's happening? What's going on here? We get to the back and security is just asking me to be patient. What's going on? Just sit tight. Sure, but what's up? Hold tight. Time was slowing down, but this was all happening so fast. Suddenly, Bully Ray comes out from a back room, full on gear since he was in the opening segment of the show, and he looks pissed. He's much bigger than me, so I'm kinda taking a step back on this here. Security backs off, and it's just us two. He said, "Hey, I heard there was an incident tonight with you and some of the girls." Yeah, I guess. I'm so lost. He says, "So here's the deal. You're done talking down to them. You need to treat them with respect. Don't be saying anything you wouldn't say to your mom. You got it?" I'm not trying to act tough. I was legit being intimidated with purpose, and I wasn't about to get kicked out during match 3, so I just bit the bullet and said, "Sure, yes sir, yeah, I understand, yeah." He said, "End of conversation, go be a fan." Security led me back to my seat. That's the end in regards to a timeline of events. The whole thing is still completely unbelievable and surreal, honestly. I've gone to live events for 15 years and have been following wrestling for 22 years. Never once heard of something like this happening. And with this incident of Bully Ray confronting a fan at last night's Ring of Honor event in Portland spreading like wildfire all over the internet, Ring of Honor issued the following statement regarding the matter by saying, from Greg Gilliand, General Manager of Ring of Honor Wrestling. ROH has always taken fan-first approach, with fan experience being at the forefront of all of our live events. We consider this to be very serious and will be conducting an internal review over the next 48 hours to determine the appropriate actions. Stay tuned to Jammin John's Wrestling News for any further breaking news updates on this story. During the post-NXT TakeOver 25 media call, Triple H commented on Tyler Breeze returning to the NXT brand full-time and his match with the Velveteen Dream. Triple H said, "I think it cemented his legacy, but I think it also earned Tyler Breeze the respect of a young man called Velveteen Dream. He looked at Tyler Breeze and said, 'You're not walking back in here. This is a different place now. This is my house. You are not taking my spot. I'm coming back and going to take what I want. In the end, they earned each other's respect. It was a lateral move for Tyler Breeze. It wasn't calling him up or sending him down. It was him going to a place where he can do his thing as good as anyone else in the world. I think they both earned each other's respect and realized that this is the place to be. Triple H continued on by saying, people have asked if this was a one-off for Tyler Breeze. It is not. I think Tyler Breeze took the first step back to being gorgeous, and this was just the beginning. PWInsider.com is reporting that Impact Wrestling World Champion Brian Cage almost made a surprise appearance in the Casino Battle Royale at AEW's Double or Nothing event. Cage was reportedly backstage at the pay-per-view and was going to wrestle, but Impact Wrestling informed him that he could not appear on the show. Twitter account at the Super JCast noted the following regarding WWE's next UK pay-per-view, which takes place on August 31st. The Super JCast tweeted, per our UK sources, WWE had a spy in one of the ticket agencies mandated by Copperbox New Japan Pro Wrestling were using for Royal Quest. They saw that New Japan had only sold 2,000 tickets, but didn't realize they had a second ticket agency and that total sales were 5,000 plus. The WWE thought sales were bad, saw money on the table, didn't do the research on competing events, examples are the rugby match, and rushed in. Now WWE are facing a situation with twice as many wrestling fans as they thought already committed to going to Royal Quest, and hugely inflated Cardiff hotel cost due to the Wales vs Ireland World Cup warm-up rugby game, which is at least £100 per night. In an interview with the State of Combat podcast, Ricochet commented on making the transition from the indie scene to WWE and working at the Performance Center. Ricochet said, that was actually one of the things that I was looking forward to the most when I was getting signed was to come to the Performance Center to work on some of the parts that I wasn't really the best at. I was learning from guys like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Terry Taylor, Norman Smiley. As far as character and promos, they would say things that are so obvious, but I just wouldn't think about it. I felt like it really helped me out. Not even with promos and characters, even in the ring stuff that I thought I had ironed out, they would tell me things that would make it even better, and I would think how they made my process so much better and how I wasn't sure why I never thought about it. I have no complaints for my time at the Performance Center. It was great. Ricochet continued on by saying, it was good. A lot of friendly competition, a lot of love. We all knew each other a long time before we got here, so it is a new company, and we want to grow it as much as possible and try to give it everything we got and help it grow. Thanks to WrestlingInc.com for the quotes. And finally, here on Jammin' John's Wrestling News, in an interview with Bill Apter for the Apter Chat, Earl Hebner talked about being the referee for Cody vs Dustin Rhodes at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Earl Hebner said, I knew those two boys when they were kids. Matter of fact, their dad, Dusty Rhodes, Dusty is the one that gave me a job at the NWA in Charlotte for Jim Crockett Promotions. Seeing those kids grow up and being with them in Double or Nothing, it was such a great match. I was in there with two great kids, two great friends, and honestly, it was like family. We got it was done, and it was good. Earl Hebner continued on by saying, I was more nervous about those two guys hurting each other than I was in the ring. The ring doesn't bother me. When I got two great kids, well, men now, in the ring, that I've loved all my life, and I see them grow up from babies, it was a lot of stress on me. It's like I was the dad there, separating the boys. I'm glad that I got to raise Cody's hand and leave, because I probably would have been in tears at ringside. Thanks to SESscoops.com for the quotes. Very, very well said words from Earl Hebner. That is your news for Monday, June 3rd, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin' John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin' John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion wanting to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/JamminJohn. I have free packages on there ranging from $3 to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/JamminJohn. This is Jammin' John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.